next presenter. I am Giselle V. Balusada and welcome to Module 7 about imaging and design for social impact. In this lesson, we'll explore the fundamentals of graphic design, the visual language that helps us communicate ideas, inspire change, and make a positive impact. So let's define first, what is graphic design? So graphic design is the process of using typographic images, colors, and illustrations to communicate visually. The term graphic design was first coined by William Addison Dwiggins in 1922. But the practice itself dates back thousands of years, from ancient cave drawings to modern digital media. So today, graphic design goes beyond visual communication. It enhances user experience in digital products, influences emotions through color, and helps organizations share meaningful messages. So why it matters for social impact visuals? When used for social impact, design becomes a powerful tool for change. It helps nonprofits, activists, and communities raise awareness, tell stories, and drive action. All great design share a few core elements: line, shape, form, texture, and balance. These may seem simple on their own, but together, they create everything we see in visual design. First, a line. A line connects two or more points. It can be thick, thin, wavy, or jagged, and each variation gives it a unique feel. Lines guide the viewer's eye, create patterns, and help define shapes and structures. Second is a shape. A shape is any two-dimensional area with a recognizable boundary. Shapes help communicate ideas visually. Think of road signs, symbols, or logos. They can organize content, build illustrations, and add visual interest to any design. When a shape becomes three-dimensional, we call it form. So forms add depth and realism. They're the basis of 3D design, architecture, and product modeling. Third is texture. Texture is the surface quality of an object. It tells us whether something feels rough, smooth, hard, or soft. In digital design, texture adds depth and personality. You can find texture in backgrounds, icons, or even fonts. Just remember, too much texture can overwhelm your design. Lastly is balance. Balance refers to the equal distribution of visual weight. It's about how elements attract the viewer's attention. Symmetrical balance uses identical or similar elements on both sides of a design, creating harmony and stability. Asymmetrical balance, on the other hand, uses contrast to distribute weight visually, guiding the viewer's eye to what matters most. To recap, line, shape, form, texture, and balance are the foundation of all visual communication. Once you master this, you can design with purpose, creating visual that inform, inspire, and spark social change. Remember, design is more than just making things look good. It's about creating impact and telling stories that matter.
So hi everyone. So now we're going to discuss about branding and identity from the lesson 2. So what is branding and identity? So branding and identity can be found everywhere. Look around you. You may see some of your personal items, product packaging, documents, or some part of advertising. All of them have one in common: identity. So first, let's talk about branding. So what is branding? Branding is what people think about you, your group, your product, or your service. It is the impression you leave on others. So for example, when people hear the name Albert Einstein, they think of intelligence. That's his brand. So for identity, what is identity or the visual identity? So identity is the visual or the physical representation of a brand. So this can include image, colors, logos, fonts, designs, and okay, that's five. So these things can help people quickly recognize a group, product, or a company. So for example, you can easily identify a school just by looking at its color combination. So for example, university has the maroon and the gold, okay, for the ZPPSU. So the colors act like a visual identity that tells you what school it is even without reading the name.
So, the first one is establish clear purpose and passioning. Recall why you or your company exists, who your target audience are, and what makes you or your service unique from your competitors. So, in this step is about knowing your brand exists and what makes it unique. So you explain your mission, who your target audience is, and what sets you apart from the competitors. When you understand your purpose, it becomes more easier to create brands that people will remember. So the second one is the product through market research. Having a deep analysis on your target audience on what their personalities are, which will lead you to the next step. So here you will study your target audience carefully. You will find out their needs, preferences, behavior, and the personalities. Good research will help you to understand what people want so you can design a brand that identity that truly connects with them. So the third one is get a personality. So based on your research, determine your brand personality. Brand personality make a huge impact on the visuals of your marketing materials. So the brand should feels like a person or us. Based on your research, you create a brand personality. For example, friendly, professionals, adventurous, or elegant. This personality will guide the tone of your messages and the looks of your designs, making your brand more relatable. So, for the fourth one is to create a polished logo. In creating your logo, it should be simple, scalable, and memorable. Observe the logos of famous companies like Amazon, Google, and IBM. What these logos have in common. So, the logo is often the first thing people see. So, it should be simple, scalable, and memorable. Simple means easy to recognize. Scalable means it is look good, whether small or large. Memorable means people can recognize it easily. Things of famous logos like Amazon, Google, or simple but instantly recognizable. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
I am JME Sutero. I'll be continued to discuss the seventh step to create a brand identify design. So number five, create an interactive color palettes. So your color palette should be simple and contains one to three primary color. Once you have established your color palettes, you may use sky blue, baby blue, and other color under the blue family to support your primary color. And number six, select professional typography. When selecting fonts, it is important to consider these things. First, do not make it fancy. Fancy typeface only make your text confusing. Like for example, in this picture. Let and now number two, don't mix fonts type or typeface. Do not mix fonts or typeface as it may give mixed interpretation to your audience, like for example again in these pictures. So number 3, mix constructing fonts or typeface. This is not similar to above item typeface, your product title, and sans serif for the subtitle. And lastly, we have number 7, choose on brand supporting graphics. Your brand's identify should have a visual library that include icon, image or photographs, design assets, and other supporting graphics.
Good day everyone, today we're going to learn a new lesson. But before that, let me first introduce my name. I am Angela Francine Marshall. I am in Group 7. Our topic is all about layout and composition. But before that, let me ask you a question. Where do you usually see the layout and composition? Okay, very good. Layout and composition are commonly seen in graphic design, photography, painting, web design, interior design, architecture, file print, visualization, fashion, and design. First, we have proximity. It's the process of placing related elements together. Elements that are not related to the group should be separated to show that these elements are not related to that group. Take the family reunion as an example. You are grouped by family and anyone who don't have any relationship to your family should be separated in design. Black text or graphics that are related should be grouped together to make your design easier to understand. Another example in the business card, grouping the company name, address, and phone number together shows they are related contact details so that proximity is placing related elements together. Next, we have white space. White space is not literally the white space that you found on the design, but rather the negative space between lines, paragraphs, and elements of design. White space in design composition is same as use of silence in a musical composition without proportionate use of silence. Music is unstructured, some may call it noise. Similarly, without white space, design is unstructured and difficult to function. So there are two types of white space, which is the micro and macro. Micro white space, mini spaces between paragraphs, lines, menu, items, or other elements in a design composition, while macro white space, large spaces between contents and elements. Next, increase interaction rate. If used wisely, white space inside helps the viewer to get the message quickly, even without looking the instructions. Fourth, guide the user through local grouping. White space helps you to achieve the proximity of your design. 5. Branding and design. Tone, let us look back at the step of brand identity design. 3. How are you going to apply white space in design? 6. Creates a breathing space for user. A lot of people believe that design will maximize the information. Alignment helps designer to organize different elements in their composition. This is similar to the alignment that we see in MS Word or other productivity tools, effective use in alignment. Example, in a magazine, aligning the text to the left margin creates a sense of order in readability, aligning image with the text. Contrast means one element is opposite to the other element. This does not only apply to the colors but to typeface and size of elements as well. Contrast help to catch the viewer's eye, create direction, or giving emphasis to something. Example, a poster uses as a bright yellow headline on a dark blue background to crop attention. The high contrast makes the headline stand out and easy to read from a distance. And lastly, repetition simply means to use the same typefaces, color palettes, or other elements to achieve consistency of composition. This creates unity in your composition or make projects connected to each other. Example, a website uses the same font and color scheme throughout its page. This repetition creates a consistency, visually identity the professional.
Good day everyone. I will be discuss the typography. Typography. So now what is typography? Typography is the art of arranging text to make it readable and appealing to the viewer. Means that typography are the art and technique of arranging type to make written language legible, readable, and visually appealing to the viewer. It also involved selecting typefaces and adjusting their size, line pacing, and letter pacing, and also more to enhance a design and communicate a message effectively. Example of typography are serif fonts, sans serif fonts, and display fonts. So some people misuse the term fonts as typefaces. So let us explain first the difference between font and typefaces. So the font refers to the vibration of weight of a typefaces. Example of fonts like Fira Sans Book, Sans Extra Bold, Sans Semi Bold, and Fira Sans Ultra. It can be also defined by attributes like size, weight, and design. While the typeface refers to the text style, it this is also the overall design of a family of a letter, numbers, and symbols. Examples are Arial, Helvetica Times New Roman, Ruboto, and Garamond. So a font is a specific instant of that typeface, like a particular weight or style, such as High Vitical Vold or Times New Romance. In the other words, typeface is the design of a set of characteristics like Arial or Times New Roman, while a font is a specific vibration within that typefaces, such as a particular size, weight, or styles. So that's my part.
So now, let's proceed to the type of fonts. So we have the three types of font, which is the serif fonts, sans serif fonts, and display fonts. So each type has its own unique style and purpose depending on where it is used. So now let's proceed to the serif fonts. So what is serif fonts? So serif fonts have a small decorative strokes or line called serif at the end of each letter. These fonts give a formal traditional look, which is they are often used in books, newspapers, and printed documents. Example of this is the Time New Romance, Baskerville Old Face, and Californian FB. The second one is the sans serif font. So, what is sans serif font? So, sans means without. In French, so sans serif fonts are those without the small stroke or decoration. They are look clean and modern, making them perfect for digital screens such as computer and mobile phones. Example of this is the Calibri, Arial, or Roboto. Now, the third is the display fans. So, what is display fans? So, display fans are also known as a decorative or a fancy fans. They are designed to grab attention and used for titles, poster, or invitation rather than for long reading text. Example of this is the advertising script, Vangers, and Porte. And that's all.
Good day, everyone. My name is David Jean B. Igdos, and I will be discussing the lesson 5 color. So, what is color? Color are very essential to your compositions. One may use a combination or one more color. It may be our instinct to choose color, but there is a science behind of it called color theory. Color theory describes how different colors contribute to each other and how they appear as they are mixed into other color schemes. Before we proceed to the different color schemes, let us go over some terminology used in color. Hue refers to pure, vibrant color. Saturation refers to the intensity of the color. It ranges from black and white or grayscales to vibrant color. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. For example, from light blue to dark blue. Color scheme. Of course, we can still remember the lesson about color during art lessons. We have primary color, then secondary colors, and tertiary color. A circular diagram of this color is called a color wheel. Using this wheel, we can create our own color scheme or combination. Monochromatic color scheme. This color scheme only focuses on one color, and often using this variation by incorporating saturation or values. For example, if you choose the color blue, then you may have other colors under the same color family, like sky blue, baby blue, navy blue, or dark blue. A chromatic color scheme. This color scheme only revolved on using the saturated color like black, gray, and white. Analogous color scheme. Analogous color scheme select a group of three colors that are adjacent in the color wheel. Complementary color scheme. These are the colors that are direct opposite to each other in the color wheel, usually a combination of primary and secondary colors. Split complementary color scheme. Split complementary color scheme uses the colors in both sides of the opposite color. Tetradic color scheme. Also known as a double complementary. This color scheme uses two pairs of complementary color. Understanding color profiles. Whenever we open an image editing application or buy a printer ink at the store, we may observe labels like RGB or CMYK. So, what are they? They are color profiles that we need to consider if we create designs. RGB. This color profile consists of red, green, and blue. You should use this profile for designs that are intended for screen display. CMYK. These color profiles consist of cyan, magenta, yellow, and K, black. If you have a printer in your house, you probably see these colors are inks. This profile is intended for designs that are to be printed. Let's proceed to Lesson 6. Image. Images are not limited to photographs. It also include graphics and other illustrations. Having images in your composition makes it appealing to the eyes of your viewer. Take magazine as an example. Imagine that your favorite magazine contains no image. You do not want to read it, right? That is the power of images. They are not just decorations on your composition. Finding and placing the right image is not a difficult thing as long as you know what kind of image you are going to use in your composition. Do you remember using clip arts on your project design? If yes, then I encourage you to not use it today as we are over with the clip art era. Stock photos are now popular in any project. Most people are now relying to stock photos as they are free to sometimes cost less. There are various stock image website or over the internet. The only thing that you need to do is to choose pictures or images for your composition. Image file types. There are different file types of images, and they are grouped into two categories, vector and raster. Vector. It is a type of image that does not lose its quality when zoomed in. Your image will not be pixelated when enlarged. Raster. Opposite to vector, raster images become pixelated when enlarged. Or image file extensions. Encapsulated PostScript or EPC. This vector format are designed to produce high resolution graphic for print. Being a universal file types, EPC files can be opened in any design editor. Adobe Illustrator Documents or AI. Most preferable and commonly used image file type by designing. If you want to create a vector image, AI is one of the best tools for you. Raster Image File Extension. Joint Photographic Experience Group, GPG or GPEG. This file type is the most common used image file types since this is a raster type of image. GPG images are known for their lossy compression, meaning the image quality decreases when being enlarged. Portable Network Graphics or PNG. This file type is known for having a transparent background. Images in this type are commonly used in web documents. Graphic Interchange Format. This file type is known in this animated form. You can find them in social network sites as posts or comments. GIFs are only used in web pages as can load quickly due to its reduced file size.